Yeah.
Okay, so Liam asking a question, and this is your choice. This is an idea that popped in my head. Could I request that everybody but Sam and Marisha leave the table?
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Did everybody else but Sam and Marisha?
Bitch. Bitch. I didn't want to listen anyway, bitch.
Fucking Caleb.
That means you too, Matt.
Well then.
Yeah, I watched my father sacrifice a lot to get where he was, and I'm not sure if it was fucking worth it. So the Empire doesn't lean favorably in my spectrum, but I also don't care if they really live or die or whatever.
Well, I really want to go to the library tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this may be a very stupid decision of mine.
Yeah.
What does she want from you?
Would you be willing to leave with me tomorrow if I asked you to?
Of course.
Just the two of us.
Absolutely. Right away. Whatever you want. But why?
Is the secret that valuable?
I am going to tell you the story of how I murdered my mother and father.
Oh.
When I was younger, I grew up in a small township outside of Rexcentrum called Blumenthal. My mother's name was Una. My father's name was Leofric. Everyone was very excited about me when I was young. I was bright and confident. People used to say that I glided through life and everything just worked for me. And as I got older, it became clear that I had a knack for the arcane. And everyone talked about the Solstice Academy. Maybe I would go there someday. It's the way they do things at that academy. They don't take all comers. They look for the diamond in the rough, and you know, every couple of years they find one. But when I was a young man, adolescent really, they found 3 of us. Another boy and a girl, and
From your town?
yeah, from Blumenthal. And we were accepted.
How old were you?
I was young.
What's young? Teenager?
Yeah. Anyway, we went there. I studied for a year. I worked so hard. It came easier to me than the other two, but they were also very accomplished. There were others. There were other students from other parts of the empire there. And a little over a year of learning all they had to impart, I met a man named Trent Ickathon. He became our teacher.
Why didn't you say anything earlier?
Earlier when? Earlier tonight? A week ago? What do you mean?
When we were talking to Trent. You know we were talking to Trent.
So, after a year of studying in the main school, Trent handpicked all three of us again. And we left the school proper and went with him to a home out in the countryside where he trained us. And it was a good time. We believed in the empire. We were going to keep it strong. He was cruel. He hurt us a lot. Made us go through extreme circumstances. But we got strong. I also fell in love, but that's another story.
One of the other students.
Yeah. So we rose through the ranks, and it was the empire over all, and eventually he wanted to test our allegiance, and so strangers were brought in, traitors. Disgusting people, traitors to this empire, and we killed them.
You just
What?
Students?
Mm-hmm.
He made you
We wanted.
executioners.
We wanted to be.
Caleb, that's deeply fucked up. You know that, right?
Yeah. So, a few months of this, of studying, of a little bit of torture, a little bit of murdering dissidents and traitors and deviants.
And then one day your parents were brought in as traitors. No?
We were ready to graduate. And the last test of our allegiance was... I'm getting ahead of myself, you know. I went home, I went on a trip home and visited my parents, and when I was there in the middle of the night, I awoke and overheard them talking and went to the stair and listened to them talk about revolution and tearing the empire down. And I felt disgraced and shame for my family. My mother and my father, who were so wonderful to me when I was a child, and were so happy for me to go to the academy and believed in the empire so much. And I went back to the school, and when the three of us were summoned and told what was expected of us, I knew what had to be done. And we went to this other boy's home first, Eodwulf, and we stood by as he killed his parents, and we went to Astrid's house and had dinner with them, and she poisoned them. And then we went to my home and we grabbed a horse cart and in the middle of the night placed it against the door to the home, and I set it on fire.
And you had to do this to graduate. To prove your loyalty.
Well, yeah, but it didn't exactly go according to that plan, because as soon as I heard my mother and father screaming inside, I was so sure, until I wasn't, and I broke a bit.
Did you go in after them?
No, I went to an asylum for a number of years. I broke. I broke. And I don't remember so well what happened to me there. It was quite a number of years. And years later, a woman was there. And she, another patient, and she put hands on me. And she took the clouds away. She took it all away. And not just my madness, but the fake memories that Ikethon put in my head of my parents.
Fake memories?
Wanting to, but yes. Yes.
Wait. That was a false memory? He tricked you?
Into hearing their talks against the Empire. Is
Yes.
that what it was?
Yes. Yes, but it doesn't matter because I still wanted to do it when I did it.
But you didn't know what you were doing.
So what?
You were brainwashed.
So what?
Programmed.
Doesn't matter. I should have. I'm a disgusting person. It doesn't matter. Anyway, all that gone, just like that. And I ran. Not right away. I pretended like nothing had changed for several weeks. She was stark raving mad 15 minutes later, herself, the woman who helped me. And I killed one of Trent's people there and took this, and I pull out the necklace. And this has been keeping me hidden for years. For 5 years.
What do you mean hidden?
They can find who they want. But not with this. They cannot find me.
I thought we were going dancing.
I can do anything.
Oh shit!
I can surf on a truck.
I was just, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go behind the alley, I'm gonna barf, I'm gonna clean myself up, and then I'm gonna go back in a little bit more put together.
Pumpkin rally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Caleb to waltz with me.
All right, okay.
No, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
So well done. Right.
You were great out
So
there.
in the midst of everything dying down, people are, they're starting to get pretty sloshed, and the energy level, while it's still, rather rowdy, some folks are starting to tap out for the night. As Jester goes ahead and drags Caleb into the center of the tavern floor, takes hands, and Caleb, almost running on autopilot, who does have some minor experience in the past, go ahead and make a performance check with disadvantage, Caleb.
That's cocked. That's okay. That is with advantage, you say?
Disadvantage, because you're
Disadvantage. That's
drunk.
very low. Very low. That is a 5.
You're drunk?
So, Caleb, a moment passes before Jester begins leading you.
Yeah.
But you guys continue, the two of you, to have a very nice little waltz in the middle of the area.
Yeah.
Kind of quietly, the music begins to change. What was once kind of the rowdy bar music kind of transitions into an actual waltz piece as the musicians notice this happening, and the 3/4 beat begins to pick up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As you guys continue to dance, a few other couples begin to get up and start kind of faking it. They don't seem to know, but they're kind of watching and playfully making up their own waltz type maneuver, and like an impromptu half-assed waltz begins to develop here in the center of the tavern.
I'm in.
We'll dance a bit.
So you guys begin to join this as well. Which one of you is leading?
I'll lead.
All right.
Absolutely.
Molly's leading. Not at his beck and call. As you guys now begin to kind of dance around in a circle. Bo and Ford, you're both there kind of drunkenly staring at this.
I actually did not come back down.
Oh, that's right. You're still upstairs.
And I'm...
Ford has passed the fuck out upstairs. And
I might have passed out in the pisser.
Out there dancing. You are always a better dancer than me, Astrid. You were so good.
Astrid?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Caleb,
I break
you've
away.
been a good dancer. Oh, Astrid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Caleb, do you need to go to sleep?
Yeah, just stumble away.
No. I grab his jacket.
Yes, you're way stronger.
You are not going to go pass out in the street. You told me to be in charge of this, and I walk him upstairs and make sure he gets in bed.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jester goes and tucks Caleb into one of the rooms in the bed comfortably.
Blue.
Yes, I am. And you're very nice. And a little stinky.
One of those things is true. And you are blue.
I'm sure Astrid loves you very much. And I tuck him in.
Okay.
And then one last thing, I'd like to approach Jester and ask her, Jester,
Yes?
I need your help.
What do you need help with?
You are a talented artiste,
Yes,
but
I am
also
very, very
you've
talented.
mentioned in the past that you are an expert forger.
Yes, I am. Have you seen my work? Remember?
I've seen you draw dicks on things.
Well, I've written a lot of letters.
Well, you don't really show us those too much, but
They're really good.
all right. Well, and also, while you were captured, I kind of flipped through your book. It's,
My sketchbook?
It's excellent work. If there were an art school or something, you should send it in.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I did have really good tutors when I was growing up.
Not bad. I'd like you to help me forge a letter.
Okay.
I'd like it to sound like it's from some sort of legal entity or law firm or court or something
Ooh,
like that.
I'll use like something like Esquire or something in there. That sounds very
Yes.
Okay.
And I'd like to. Oh, could you not tell Caleb about this?
Secrets?
It's a secret.
I'm really good at keeping secrets.
All right.
Okay.
I'd like it to read something like.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to be sending it to the Solstice Academy.
I know about that. That's where Ford wants to go.
Yes.
Are we writing this for Ford?
No.
Okay.
It's in Rexentrum.
Solstice. Yes, I know where it is.
Solstice.
Solstice Academy.
The Soul Train Academy.
Solstice Academy.
That's a good way to remember it.
Academy. Something like greetings, hello. To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
I am trying to reach a young lady
Okay.
named Astrid, no last name given, who was
Wait, do I say that? No last name given?
Yes.
Okay.
who was a student about 11 years ago at your academy. She has inherited a bit of money from a distant relative, her uncle Leonard Hyphen.
Leonard Hyphen?
He's
Hyphen
from
what?
I don't. Leonard Hyphen Leonard.
Leonard Hyphen Leonard. Got it.
From the town of Nigeria.
Got it.
And his estate. His estate has employed me to find her. His estate has employed me to find her in order to deliver the funds.
Vast sums of money. Right. The
yes.
funds. Okay.
Please reach out to her. Reach out to me with her.
Wait, oh shit! You. Now I've got to write it again because you said it wrong. Hold on.
I know you were writing as I was saying. All right.
I'm really
please,
fast.
Please reach out to me with her last known contact information or address. You can write me in care of the Pillow Trove Hotel.
That's a real fancy one. Okay.
Attention. I don't know. Attention what? Mrs. Jester.
No.
Mrs. Dr. Jester.
Mrs. Lavore Esquire.
Mrs. Lavore Esquire.
Okay.
My legal practice thanks you in advance. Thank you.
The legal practice of. Not
and brave.
Not and brave
not-
law firm.
Yes.
Okay, not and brave law firm.
So many businesses.
Okay. And then what now? Do you have a seal or something? Because it would
I don't
be
know.
sealed really fast.
On official letters, do you like kiss them with lipstick? Do you put a little perfume on it? What do you do?
You know what? I have my mom's lavender oil,
Hold on.
Okay, that'll make
Get
it
that
even
out.
more official.
That's, things that are from really fancy places, they always have, you know, yeah, so they're
and also,
scented.
also,
So I'm going to
sometimes-
get it on my fingers just to handle the paper, so the paper smells like it's handled by someone
I've
rich.
noticed sometimes in letters that I've stolen from the post, fancy ones anyway, sometimes you pull out the letter and then there's like this other piece of like tissue paper in there for no reason.
Yes. We'll do something like that.
Okay, good.
Okay, I just use another piece of paper because I don't have any fancy tissue paper.
Just a blank one.
Yeah.
All right. And then we just mail it to Soltris Academy.
Okay, wait. We need a like really fancy seal. We need wax.
Do we have any wax?
I bet Caleb has wax.
We can't tell him about this.
Okay, well,
could-
do you know where any candles are? Let's
Sure,
take
there's
a
candles
candle
everywhere.
from around the room,
Sure.
and then we'll stamp it with a ring, one of my rings.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, which one is the flattest? This one. It's got a rose on it.
Okay. Two things. One, I would like you to roll for your forgery.
Wax seal ever.
So
Like
It's a bunch of candles.
wax.
White wax.
Just plain beeswax.
so are you proficient with your forgery kit?
I have a forgery kit. How do I know if I'm proficient? Hold on. But I think I am because of my background. Yes. No. Yes. I don't know.
I think you should have, depending on
Hold
your.
on, I'm opening my. Oh yeah, proficiencies in languages. Forgery kit.
Yep. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
Add your intelligence modifier and your
Oh, why the
and proficiency
intelligence?
bonus.
Can it be the wisdom?
Actually, no. Let's make it dexterity.
Okay.
We can go either way.
Plus what? My proficiency?
Proficiency bonus and your
And
intelligence modifier. Or the
Okay.
dex, I'm sorry.
That's 12 plus 3 is 15.
15. Okay. So you managed to forge the letter in what you believe to be a fairly decent forgery of whatever.
Really good forgery.
You're not matching somebody's handwriting per se, but it's more about just getting an officious look to it with little flourishes of calligraphy at the beginning of
lavender oil
sentences.
helps
Yeah, that
a
big
lot.
first letter.
Exactly.
First letter.
I would like you to roll just a general dexterity check for me.
Did you see that? It was really trying.
everywhere.
Dexterity check 10.
10. Okay. There's a difference between sealing wax and candle wax. How do I know this? Because I've made that mistake before. Sealing letters for previous D&D campaigns. So you managed to press your ring into the wax and pull back, and now there's just mush on the end of your ring, and there's a circular piece of mush soft wax where the seal should be.
This is pretty shitty.
We need sealing
We need
wax.
actual sealing wax. I'd like peel it up.
Can you go get some from the stiggity store?
Yeah, I'll go to the store and buy some sealing wax.
All right. Sealing wax, it's not too expensive. Say 2 silver to get you like a chunk
2
of seal.
silver for this wax. You better be really grateful.
I'll pay for postage.
Okay.
All right. So you
Now I can send letters to my mom with all really cool seals.
Oh, so you did need it.
there you
Okay.
go. So you finish the letter, you seal it best to your ability, you hope it seems official enough,
Okay.
and you send it off towards its destination in Mexico.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please don't tell Caleb, he might get upset. I just think that this is someone from his past who might be able to, make him think of happier times.
Astrid?
Yeah.
That's the name he said to me when we were dancing. Did you know?
No.
Yes, we were dancing, we were waltzing. It was really lovely. He was very, very, very drunk.
Yes, I remember
And
that
then
night.
he said something about Astrid.
He misses her.
Was it his girlfriend?
I think so. I don't know which way he swings, but yeah, he could really get any girl he wanted to if that's
He's very
his...
handsome, especially when he shaves. You can see that the little butt chin he has. It's really nice.
It's nice. Well, I hope it works.
Me too.
And scene.
And scene, all right.
You're sweet on him, yeah?
I don't know. It feels funny.
How do you mean?
Well, you know when you really like somebody, but then you start to know them, And you go, do I like them or do I like what I thought they were? And then you don't know.
I think so.
And then you think that they are flirting with you, but then you find out they probably weren't, you know?
Or just saving your life.
And so you feel like kind of sad about it. And maybe a little stupid?
That's a little out of my realm of experience, I'm sorry.
You had a girlfriend before, though, yeah? You said her name when we were dancing. And then I put you to sleep, and you said her name again.
I don't forget anything.
Was she pretty?
She was handsome.
Was she a boy?
No, I said she.
Oh, okay.
She was handsome.
I'm trying to get an image of her in my brain here.
Yeah,
Did she have like a really good nose or something?
the best.
Really?
For me.
You're mysterious, Caleb. You know that.
It was a long time ago anyway.
Okay. Looks like Ford covered it.
How far away are
Caleb,
they?
while we have this moment,
They're like maybe 100 feet ahead of you guys.
Can we
something's
see them? Can we see
No, there's no light source in there.
something's been bugging me, Caleb. And while we're alone, I figure now's as good a time as any. I have a confession to make. A while back, I wrote a letter to someone that you know. Astrid. Remember her? Hello? You told me about her, and I think maybe it was a mistake in retrospect, but I wrote her a letter. I was hoping to maybe reconnect you. Someone from your past might... I'm over here, by the way.
The rest of you, what are you doing?
Time.
How long do we have to wait, though?
They don't. They're the ones that can do the message stuff. They both went together.
Yeah, but
You are telling me this.
More whispers!
You are telling me this right now?
Well, I mean, we're alone, and
we
there's
should just
obviously
go see
no
if it's
danger
okay.
around, so I figured right now would be a good time to tell you.
Well, we will have this discussion later. For now, just get the rest up here, and we will.
Oh, you want me to get the rest?
Well, no, we can. Everything's fine. Come up.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going. We join.
that was stupid. Why do we have to wait then?
Nothing to worry about, huh? Coast is clear.
Stop.
Seems strange. Only those three little buggers would be the only
No,
thing.
Not is just getting strangely personal and enigmatic. But a while back, you mentioned a specific letter
Oh,
that you wrote on my behalf, or tell me again, because I remember what you said, but I'm not sure I understand what
I
you
felt
said.
extremely guilty. At the time, I thought that I was being helpful, trying to get you some sort of connection with your past. But I didn't know that your past was...
Did you get the sense from my story that I had fond connections of that past?
Of her, yes.
What did you say?
I didn't... I wrote a letter, not even to the girl, Astrid, but I think it was to her school, if I remember correctly.
From whom?
From an interested party that was unnamed.
Did you name anything, list anything? Did we have any connection to?
I think I said something, and I could be wrong about this. If only I had your keen memory. Jester, get in here. Oi, Jester.
We're working on
Why
something.
is there paint all over you?
More
I'm
than
making
usual.
some modifications. What is it?
We're working on
You helped
We're
me with
working
this.
on
You helped me write this letter to,
What are you talking
to
about? What
Astrid.
letter?
There was an Astrid. We wrote a letter to Astrid.
What
I
are you
feel like
talking
you
about?
were. Remember, this was a while back. We were in the dash, I want to say.
One moment. You have explained Astrid to Jester.
You talked to me about Astrid.
Some.
Yeah.
You
didn't. She didn't say who Astrid was. She just said Astrid, and I just wrote it. If there's something I'm not supposed to know or
I didn't
something.
know it was such a secret.
But
just
you
told me
said
that
her
she was an
name.
old friend of yours from when you were a student.
Yeah.
You seemed like you liked her a lot, Caleb.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
I just inquired about her whereabouts as an interested party. I think we said something about being relatives, needing to contact her for some sort of.
Yes, we said we were going to offer her a lot of money or something, right?
I think it was like an inheritance that we had to find
That's right.
for her.
So we didn't say anything
What
about.
about a return address or?
I believe this was at the Pillow Trove.
Yes, it was at the Pillow. We should really go back to Zadash.
I think we said if you have any information, send it to the Pillow Trove.
Oh my gosh! You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to send a message to the owner of the Pillow Trove.
Okay.
Hi, it's me, Jester Lavore. I used to stay there. Have there been any letters or packages for me?
I was blue.
I was blue.
There's a mild pause. Yes, I recall. There is a package here. Yes.
I guessed it again. Who's the fucking package from then?
Open it up. What's in it?
Open it up. What is in it? Tell me about it.
We are not allowed to open packages, just to deliver them as is required by senders. From a Kalyana.
Oh, it's my pen pal, our pen pal.
Oh, that's right.
Kalyana sent us a package. Oh, we have to go back to Zadash. What if it was like baked good or something? I bet they're really gross now.
There is also a letter, it seems.
There's a letter.
There's
a letter.
Ask again. Use your fucking spell again.
Okay, I send
No, you
another.
need that stone. Never mind.
I send another message. Who's the letter from? Is it for?
Open it.
Open it up.
You have my permission.
You have my permission.
I would require the permission in person to open a letter. It is from the Soltris Academy. It seems official.
It's from the Solstice Academy. It seems official.
We'll never go back to Zadash.
You've seen this wizard.
We'll never go back to Zadash. And if we do,
No, we have to go back to Zadash where my dad is.
we'll kill the owner, burn down her establishment, and no one will ever know that we were ever there or that it existed.
They're already
God.
Did you make any mention of any of us, of anyone you know?
I think we said our name was like not. We said like not in the lawyer.
Oh, we did.
We put our name on it.
You used the name Lavore.
Maybe not. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was just the not.
Did you maybe?
I think maybe we
I
did.
think maybe we did. It might have been not the brave or something. No, that's probably not what
It
we
was
said.
like Lavore and company, attorneys at law or
Let me
something.
elaborate a little bit, Jester. Not know some of this, but Astrid and other people that I used to know would not take kindly to finding me. And I worry about any openings that we have made for them now. That is mitigated somewhat by the concept that we have revealed ourselves to hidden eyes in front of the Empress. But I worry slightly about your mother. Maybe. If you use that name, maybe.
Miss Lavore of Not and Brave Firm.
Oh no.
Your mother is
that what it was?
famous.
She is.
Yeah. I don't
Do you think they're going to hurt her?
Have you spoken to her recently?
Yeah, I speak to her almost every night. Every other night. So I go a little long sometimes, and I should call my mama more, honestly. But I did talk to her very recently.
I want to help you see her, but we should be very careful.
Okay, but you can take us to Nicodranas whenever we need to go.
Now, yes. But it's just one layer of complication. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just wanted you to have a friend.
Have friends?
Well, you didn't then.
Yeah, at the time it was really touch and go,
Really
you know.
standoffish. This was a while
I
back.
think this was right after you did the mud on your face thing, and I felt really guilty.
Yeah, it's as much my fault as anyone.
No, don't blame yourself. It's our fault.
It's definitely Not's fault.
Well, I mean, you were there too.
Because you told me to
You could
do
have
it.
stopped me at any
I
moment.
didn't know what I was doing, so
Well, neither did I.
obviously
You
I'm
think I
very.
know what I'm doing?
I'm super.
It's really all right. I think the time when someone comes to find me is inevitable at this point, but that is possibly one point of entry. So,
But do you like Astrid?
I did, yeah.
Maybe she'll just want to hang out and be friends again.
I don't know. For a while she was the one, but that was a long time ago. Okay. Stumbling away from that one.
Apparently I don't. Somebody else does, I guess.
Go on.
Go. Yeah, do it, Ford.
Yeah, step up.
Okay, you step up and glance through. From what you can see, it's a 10 foot by 10 foot chamber. There is a single chair in the very center, and you can see a humanoid female form sitting in the chair, kind of faced to the side and away towards the corner, arms bound behind by shackles. Shackles then follow a chain down that is chained to the bottom of the chair, and you can see chains that then fix themselves to the ankles in the front. So this figure is locked tight to this chair. You're also looking down at the base of the chair itself is bolted to the floor. So it is a stationary, a fixed chair. There's no other exit, windows. It is just pitch black. Faint smell of urine. And from what you can see, she is very, very badly beaten. That's about as much as you can make out. Hair kind of in front of the face.
Clothes?
Clothed, leather armor, but a lot of it's been cut. Elements have been kind of like torn off where the arm is there. Battle worn.
Look at me. Is her head left?
No.
I'll pivot and turn around. Caleb?
Okay, I walk up next to Ford and look in. What does this woman look like?
Well, she's had the shit kicked out of her. Hair's all on her face. Doesn't look like she's very comfy.
I look in. My hands go to the hole and I look in.
Okay. You see the same thing that Ford had seen.
What does the hair look like?
It looks probably about just under shoulder length, about chin length, maybe a little beyond that. Most of it's kind of tousled and mostly over the face. The head is slumped forward. You don't know if she's unconscious or is just exhausted.
There are guards here, you said?
Yes.
I turn to them. Is light allowed? May I?
They kind of look at each other, and one of them kind of gestures to go ahead.
Two of them float in through the hole and move not close to the person, but over their heads enough to light them up.
Okay.
And
you can see a very faint physical reaction to the light in the chamber, but it's very faint. It's just kind of like a slight shift, but maintains position.
I speak in Zemnian. Are you awake?
No response.
Wake up. You are in a bad place. I need you to talk to me.
You hear her clear her throat.
Go ahead. Your life's thread is very short right now. If you want to keep it from being clipped, I need you to talk to me.
You hear this reedy, pinched voice come out, the face still not turning, just going in Zemnian back to you. It is what it is. This is what happens in war.
I don't recognize that voice, do I?
Make a perception check. It's very. You're not sure. It sounds like the individual is taking quite a few hits to probably the throat or chest, and is just like this. The process of speaking is a taxing endeavor.
Can you look at me?
Who asks? What do you want?
You hear me talking to you in this language, in this place. Do you want any aid or not? Look at me.
Magic can do many things. My life is already forfeit. Try what you want. You won't break me.
Astrid.
What did you say?
Is that Astrid?
The head perks up slightly. What did you say?
You hurt me. Look me in the eye.
Who are you?
I don't have time for that. Lift your face. Your life hangs by a thread. What have you to lose? Look at me.
Look where I am. Who do I have to trust? Who is this who knows Astrid?
If I try to put my cat in that room, am I able to down here?
I think you probably can.
I attempted and put Frumpkin on the inside of the room.
Alrighty.
And if he is in there, I send him padding up to this person to look.
Okay. Make a perception check for Frumpkin.
Oh, for Frumpkin. Balls.
You cursing him?
I'm cursing it.
10.
Okay.
Okay. You see the hair in front of the face. You see a lot of blood and a swollen chin and a lip.
Oh, go in there. Just beat the shit out of her. Hold her face up.
I can pick her up.
We have to be let inside.
All right.
May have to open the gate.
You do see in the light here and the circumstance, there are scars across the forearm, familiar scars as to the ones that you carry.
Yeah.
There's no way they're opening this door for us.
Yeah, I asked that very thing of the guards.
If they'll open it?
Yep. Yeah.
The one who's assigned next to it goes, I'm sorry that it cannot be done.
Oh, it's so tempting.
We could just knock out these guards real quick.
Would you perhaps mind?
So many.
Would you perhaps mind if I put the prisoner in a
6 guarding it.
better state to answer questions? They've been roughed up a bit.
Do you know Ren Aldrich Ermenglood?
Very well.
Who was he?
I don't know. Is he you? And the figure turns and looks in your direction. Oh. You see the hair kind of pushed to one side of the face. The hair is dark, not brown, and the face is unfamiliar to you. This is not Astrid. But the face is looking right at you with a smile.
We'll find them both. And kill them. Hmm?
I've heard things about you, Bren. Welcome back.
I'm curious to know what you've heard of this boy. We'll see if you live long enough. So tell me. And walk away from the door and start to hyperventilate against the wall.
Ring a bell for her, something. By the way, just as a bit of flair here, everyone is still under seaming, and people may or may not notice Caleb occasionally just staring at seaming Astrid for stretches of time before shaking out of it multiple times.
Okay.
20 minutes after they left, Caleb went up to his room. Can I use that homebrew to do something super simple here?
Masturbated. Yes.
Okay. So he goes up to, Caleb goes up to his room and places 5 pieces of amber.
Silver thread everywhere.
5 pieces of amber on the floor after he masturbates. And takes his holster with the books on it off and places the entire set of holsters and books into the center of this circle of 5 amber pieces, and mutters a few words and starts to trace his fingers through the air and casts Widogast's Vault of Amber, and the harnesses and the books just shrink in, and a little beam of light burns along the floor towards the piece of amber closest to Caleb, and they are gone. And he collects up the pieces and the largest one and puts them away into his bag and sets off for the Shimmer Ward.
Okay.
To find her house.
All right. So.
Oh, shit.
Situated in the northeastern reaches of the Shimmer Ward, you come upon the address stated in the letter. 31st Woadstone Manor. A respectable manor house rests on an expansive property that seems to bear numerous other abodes across its sneaking grasses and fencing, all which wrap around and sit in the shadow of one of the ominous towers of the Candles, a familiar one. Her manor house is one of many that sit on the property that encircles Trendicathon's tower. You can see the manor house is largely built from bleached pale wood, and dark window frames, making for a curious contrast. It looks very nice.
How many stories is it?
This home is 1.5. The second story is, I mean, it's 2 stories, but it's not like a major building. It's like a smaller additional room, maybe. It's nice, but it's not as big as some of the other estates you've seen here. but it's, at this point in time for you, I'd say it's past sunset, so it's evening. Some of the lanterns in the district are lit. Some folk are walking through, but most of the Shimmer Ward has died down.
Is it lit?
The interior is lit.
Well, he stands in the street and for 10 minutes, thereabouts, and just stares at it in the tower, and finally works up the courage and approaches the front door. If there is anything to knock.
There is a knocker, a little iron knocker.
Yeah.
A few moments pass before the door. And you see a male halfling in really kind of nice, formal-looking suit, hair pulled back, and a loose ponytail, dark hair. Looks kind of young. Kind of opens the door and goes, "Might I help you?"
Yeah. I'm here to see the lady of the house.
And who might you be?
My name is Bren Aldrich Amandrud.
I'll pass this on to the lady. Please be patient. The lady will see you shortly. If you would please step in. There is a guest holding chamber, if you would mind waiting for a moment.
Of course.
Of course. As you step inside, the hosting chamber is this very sparsely decorated room. The interior, while the exterior looks very nice, the interior is very minimalistic. You've seen a lot of garish homes from the inside of a lot of affluent folk that just fill with decor and paintings, and it's very much a display. This house, a lot of the rooms just feel more empty, but not in a way that feels like it's unintentional. It's just everything is particularly placed and spacious. And this hosting chamber is no different. Small table under the window, those 2 couches. Not much else. The walls are pretty bare in here, but you're brought to the seat. And what you gather now is probably the servant of the manor exits.
Sit absolutely stock still and don't move a muscle.
You can feel your heartbeat throughout your whole body, just your entire chest is, hot and swelling with the nerves that are kind of curling in your stomach. You begin to hear footsteps approach. The archway that leads into the hosting chamber, a figure steps in and kind of raises a hand, and the low kind of candlelight in the room gets brighter to lighten the interior. And you see a human woman in her mid-30s, dirty blonde hair, extremely short in the back, but long and kind of side-combed in the front, framing the right side of her face to just past the chin. She looks over towards you, a familiar face of older, with a hard look in her eyes, but a smile, with a heavy scar that is new, that rides from the top of the brow down to the bottom of the chin. She's dressed simply.
I rise.
It has been some time. I was not expecting you, Brian.
Let's speak in our regular time.
And she responds in Zemnian. Of course.
Hi.
Hello?
I think I've been imagining and dreading this moment for longer than I care to admit.
I'm sorry dread was a word, but I'm sure you have your reasons.
So many things that I...
Sit. Sit. And she kind of steps across the room to meet you on the opposite couch. And sits and kind of rolls her sleeves up on her blouse where you can see the same marked maze-like tattoos that you have previously seen on Aethelwulf's, or the arms of the halfling that was next to you.
What color are they?
They appear to be black.
Okay.
And she sits down and kind of pulls them up a bit, crosses her hands across her knee, and sits across from you.
So much. What happened?
A lot of things have happened, Bren. Where would you like me to begin?
The last thing I remember is my home.
We're chosen for a reason. From obscurity, picked from the rest of the riffraff for something that we can do. And to seize such a destiny can cause a lot of heartache. And we can do some terrible things.
It's strange, I find myself wanting to, apologize. Still, so much of me feels like I failed. But a lot has changed. And I know some things now that I didn't as a boy, and I'm so glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too, Bren. I mean, it's been well over a decade that we still often have talked about and wondered where you were, if you were okay.
How did I... He's in a cold sweat. How did I get to the sanatorium?
We took you there. You had a breaking point. And understandably, began to lash out. Part of that same spark that was seen in you could create a lot of sparks everywhere else. And she kind of reaches up and scratches a bit, and you can see there's like burn scars on the side of her neck there. Yes. But for your own good, we took care of you, and we brought you there. But we had to subdue you first. You were too dangerous to us and to yourself.
I was there a long time.
we always hoped that you'd improve. And at times you did, and I mean, to be honest, even looking at you now and hearing some of the things that you're doing, I mean, you've defied all of our expectations. And if you feel like you've failed then, know that everyone's path goes at different paces. You've certainly proven now that you are in no way, shape, or failure.
What are you doing these days?
I'm doing a bit of tutelage. I'm doing what we were meant to do, which is keep our people safe.
Is it difficult for you?
At times. But I take pride in my work. And I've stopped some terrible things from happening. And I've seen some of the possibilities of what can be done with the right application of the right minds.
Had you heard that my friends and I were here?
And it was rather rapid chatter once Trent had notified us of the return of the lost pup.
You know what the Mighty Nine and I are leaving to do?
I've heard. And I'm very curious. It seems so not what I would have expected from you. So much more. I'm impressed. I'm proud.
When I came back to myself and Ferguson, there was a woman, a patient, I think. She healed me, and this might be hard for me to convince you, but she helped me see things. What we did that night, I did fail. But I didn't fail the Empire. I failed myself and my mother and father. He lied to me. I know he lied. And if he would lie to me about that, it is hard for me to understand what he wouldn't lie about.
Brennan, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He kind of reaches out and kind of touches your cheek a bit.
Inside check.
Inside check.
Oh, God. No.
It's a good insight check.
Do something.
Good roll, good insight check.
27.
Since everybody else is at this table, I don't have to whisper to you.
Yeah.
she seems very genuinely mournful for your pain and your suffering. But there's also a hardness to it, and like this was a terrible thing that happened. This is more of a, I'm sorry you suffered as we've suffered, as many people have suffered for ever and ever. Life is suffering. And some things are necessary. That's kind of what you glean with a very high insight check.
Does she seem horny?
You're not there. To be gifted in a world filled with hardship like this is to do things we're not proud of. And to question the choices we make. And to regret the things we wish we could change. Do I agree with everything that I've been asked to do? No. Do I think about it? Do I lament? Do I see the faces of the people I've watched expire at my own hand? All the time. But I also know the reason that we get to sleep every night comfortable in bed or in a manor, as do the many families and children, just like we were, just like the families we once had, that don't have to make the choices we did. They still get to live happily and comfortably because the few, the chosen few, made the hard choice and do what few have the will to do.
I'm sorry. I will never forget what we were. And even now, all these years later, I can't shake it. I still care a great deal about you. At least the girl I knew. But he has blinded you. You and Wolf. And all of his little helpers. And I mourn our childhood. And our souls.
She reaches out, puts her hand on your knee. I understand your anger. And as much as he's been our teacher, he's not infallible. He's just an old man with the right connections who will one day pass, like they all do.
always were ambitious.
So are you, apparently, Bren. Like I said, I'm proud of you.
It's good to see you. I think I better go. Raise my hand slowly up and just touch the scar. Run my thumb down it. Too many scars.
I regret none of them. Except one.
What was that?
Except one.
Thank you for allowing me into your home. Maybe we will see each other again.
You're welcome anytime, Bren. I'd like to see more of you.
Yeah, maybe. I speak in common again. We'll see. My friends are depending on me.
Of course. But you should probably get to them.
Just sort of hang on her face for a minute. Think about staying. Walk towards the door.
She gets up and follows behind. At your pace, keeping her own distance from you, so as not to crowd.
Good night.
Good night. And she grabs and squeezes your hand for a moment before giving a nod to her servant who opens the front door. Releases it and just stands there, arms crossed in front, watching you.
I turn and go. And I will wind my way back to our lodgings.
You can hear very, very gentle, it's almost like violin and harpsichord music playing from inside the next room. As you begin to approach, you peek beyond the threshold and you can see, giving off a very faint aura, what looks to be 6 different humanoid-ish figures that just kind of stand at the ready against 2 walls of what is a long hall-like room. As you step through the door, they all disappear, and you feel the enchantment that your weapon had given to you fade. Ooh. As you all step through, you can see now there are a number of smaller, more metallic iron chandeliers, about 4 of them, that align the ceiling of this long hall-like room, where you can see a long table sits before you with these kind of pale, tan, almost beige-colored tablecloths and settings and chairs for 7 guests. There are windows in this room, and they appear to be somewhat frosted, but you can see beyond them what looks to be like a beautiful forest. Dense in trees, a bit of moonlight coming through the branches. Doesn't quite match with the math of where you are, with the center of the city. And beyond the end of this table, you can see there is a roaring fireplace on the opposite side of the room. And there, framed in the flickering flames, you can see 3 figures standing as they all kind of turn. You can see the figure familiar to you all first is the wide-shouldered, short, dark hair, kind of well-buttoned velvet tunic on what seems to be Airwolf, who had met you once at the Vergessen Sanatorium when you were inspecting the beacon a number of weeks back. On the right side, you can see a woman with kind of dirty blonde hair, short in the back, combed over to one side of the face, smiling in a very, very officious-looking suit, it seems, that comes into a long dress at the bottom. And then in the center you see not quite the same, but mirrored essence of that same green and gold robe that you saw in the portrait below. You see the older, jaundiced figure of Master Trent Ickathon, who smiles, puts his arms up. I'm so very happy that you have accepted my invitation. Please sit. I believe we have much to talk about.
Question, you said there were only place settings for 7 people?
For the 7 of you at the table.
As well as the
3 for them.
Do we have assigned seating?
There does not appear to be any sort of indication of assigned seating.
Are you going to take the head of the table?
Yeah.
Okay, Jester takes the opposite head of the table, of which Trent takes the furthest side.
The corners of the room where there were those 6 humanoid figures, nothing there, right?
Correct.
Empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wait until Astrid sits and then sit in the chair adjacent.
So that would be at the opposite head of the table, Trent. To the left of Trent is Astrid, and then it would be you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sit across from you wherever you sit.
Definitely sit. Somebody should sit next to them so that Airwolf gets separated.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I'll use my speed to try to sit where Airwolf would be seated.
He is moving for the chair to the right of Trent Ickathon.
Yeah, come on, roll for that shit.
Do it.
Yahtzee.
Roll a dexterity check, because this is.
I don't even have my dice out.
It's like he's just pulling out the seat for a lady.
Your dice out. We're gonna die any second.
What is my checking?
Just roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier.
17.
17. You watch as he goes and pulls the chair out, and is about to lean in, and
Is this seat taken?
Apparently it is. And like shoves you into the table a little bit. Pulls the chair right next to you back. And then sits down.
I'll sit down.
In the chair that he pulls back.
He goes, power move.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Of course. Kind of gently pushes it in. Looks back to you again. Goes to the third chair.
Caleb is watching like a mixture of mortification and hilarity, but like not smiling, just.
Airwolf,
I
wouldn't
walk
you
to
like
the
to
chair.
sit down next to me?
I walk to the chair.
You walk to the.
I pull it out. For you.
Oh.
Thank you. And he sits
Pull it
there.
out.
Just wanted to make note.
I sit across from Caduceus.
Yeah, so we have eyes on either side of the.
Good call.
Yeah.
As everyone takes their seat and finishes, Trent, who's kind of leaning back in this high-backed chair that comes up to these almost like hook-like hands that are currently reaching over the top of the back, puts his arms up and gives a clap. And you feel this wind kind of rush through the chamber, and the doors you came through close. The meal will be here arriving shortly.
In the interim, I am happy to have you as guests in my home.
I can't hear you. Can you speak a little louder? I'm sorry, I'm just so far down here.
He then begins to introduce my companions, and as he speaks, his mouth does not move any longer. Instead, the language seems to be coming from all sides, directly into your mind.
Cool. It's cool.
Oh, no.
As he just stares intently across the table. My companions for the night, of which you are familiar. Childhood friends of your companion, this Caleb Wittogast, or as we've known him, Bren. This is Astrid. Points to her. And this is Adolf. And he gives a nod. Now I must say I'm quite impressed how you all come together and done so much in such a short time. What is, if I might inquire, the driving force behind your travels? What is your mutual goal?
Boy, that's a tricky one to start with. We are driven by many forces, but mostly justice. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Mostly justice.
I think mostly we are just trying to leave the world better than when we found it.
So we are not too different then.
Oh, you seek to change the world for the better?
Well, what is the purpose of power if not to use it properly?
Much for us to celebrate together at this time.
Indeed.
We've achieved peace after so much struggle.
So, and there's this kind of pregnant pause at the table as he kind of begins to scan across each one of you.
I'm doing the same. Can I ask what kind of vibe I'm getting from Astrid and
Well, I was about to say, as soon as you're doing this, Astrid pipes up and goes,
Indeed, it is a pleasure to meet all of these friends of Caleb. Just as it is good to see you as well, my friend. And I am happy to get the chance to know those who have kept him companions and safe in the time that we could not. Right, Edward?
Indeed, I've seen some of you at the sanatorium. Seems fate continues to draw us together. Perhaps the matron has plans for us together yet, huh?
Who's the matron?
Which is he referring to Matron of Ravens?
And you, what are you? You see Adolf kind of gives like a weird, like a half grin.
Vegetarian, so I hope the meal reflects.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smile fades.
Well, I guess, before I get too deep into my particular interests for the night, what questions have you for me?
Well, I am curious now that we have reached some quiet between the two nations. Seeing as how central you are to the decision-making here in the Empire. What's the next step?
Well, I do apologize. You have not been around for the full scope of our political engine, but I do not make decisions. I merely guide, offer suggestions. As to what is next, well, there are many paths. Am I to know, it seems you have fallen in with a Vesterogna, yes?
We will be spending some time with her, that is correct.
And what errands, if I might inquire, has she procured your skills for?
You might not. Inquire.
Respectfully, I feel that information would be considered of private nature.
Of course, of course.
Does he feel like, does he already know? Does he already know he just wants to hear from us?
Make an insight check.
I was going to say, my insight check is just not stopping.
Yeah.
17.
22.
22? There isn't a lack of confidence in his inquiry, and he does not appear to be finished. As he goes, is she looking to perhaps drag you to Schattengrad as glorified tomb raiders, huh? No? Perhaps your familiarity with Shohassian society is to aid her in acquisitions there. Or is she hoping to bring you to someplace colder?
Well, that is a
Look.
conversation you should have with her.
I know, as far as I know, she just wants us to hang out for intimate reasons, you know? We're all very attractive.
Fair.
Make a deception check.
I feel like she should get advantage for the fact that we are very attractive. Sorry.
15.
Okay. Well, wherever it is that you all intend to travel, I hope you do so safely and without issue.
Without any tissue?
Yeah, we won't need any. We're not sick or anything.
A joke, yes. The doors enter, and you watch as these platters begin to just hover in the faint breeze, held aloft on their own, filling up the table before you.
That's cool.
As Edwulf takes a scarf and kind of tucks it in to the top of his shirt, and Astrid takes and puts it in her lap. Trent leans in. No questions, then?
So many questions. How's the new crop? How are your children?
Oh, the children are doing well. Some more than others.
Not everyone has the stomach for it.
We lost a talented prospect not long ago.
How did you lose them?
They were captured in Rossana.
Blondie.
That's unfortunate.
Not Blondie.
No, in the
Girl
prison
in
in Jorah.
prison.
Yeah.
What's her butt?
Well, the Empire will always yield up more youth. I find hope in the quiet that was achieved at sea. Maybe I'm naive. I'm sure you think so. How wonderful it would be if the two sides could approach each other with that forthrightness, always. You said that you make no decisions, you only advise a thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend that I am King Dwendal.
Very well.
In this moment, advise me.
As the king?
In your opinion, do we keep this momentum going or use it as a feint and dig in harder in all the traditional ways? What is your advice?
My advice, O great King Dwendal, is to use this momentum to rally the populace around the idea of your benevolence and your ability to keep them safe from outside aggression. But to keep a very close eye in all the shaded places. There are so many lives and only so much land.
How does he do that?
Yeah, really.
That was literally both answers at the same time. He just said yes twice. That was amazing. Wow.
I look diagonally down at Eadwulf. Like a little more perspective, Wolf. How are things going?
Well, at the moment it is not as busy, so I am enjoying a little more of a relaxed schedule for now. You look good.
Say again?
You look good.
Oh. Well, it's a wonder what travel will do, and sun on your back.
When the war was a bit hotter than it is now, were you very busy? You, Eadwulf?
Not any busier than you are, apparently.
Well, yes, but were you on the front lines?
I'm not a frontline sort of fighter. I have different skills. More of a scout, if you will.
Did you go into enemy lines and go on missions and things, exciting things?
Only exciting things.
Yeah? Like what?
Yeah, I'm curious, like Veth. I've missed a year or two. What have you both been filling your time with?
Looks over towards Astrid, and Astrid kind of narrows her eyes a bit and pulls her back, and he smiles.
We're doing what we do best, Brian. Ensure history walks the right path.
Have you been taking up hairstyling? Because Astrid's got a pretty cool one. Was it Eadwulf that did that for you?
I'm saying this to Astrid?
Uh-huh.
Astrid goes, no, this is my own design.
Oh, you did that yourself?
She takes and pours a little bit of wine. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Why do you not like it?
No, I love it. I love it.
Would you like your hair like it as well?
That's
What?
okay. It's so original, I wouldn't want to steal your thunder.
Might have chosen the wrong profession.
No, it's my profession that allows me to do this. And you watch her, she flicks her finger and the hair suddenly grows long and curls up into this like extremely like bouncing healthy like shoulder bob. And then it recoils upward into
Careful,
this.
you got some Bernays and a lock right there. You kind of got a little out of control with that.
World barber.
It got a little on your lapel.
I don't have.
That's really cool. That's a really cool spell. That's a really cool spell.
Thank you.
Selecting a fine talent.
She looks back to Bren.
Do you ever teach people how to do those kind of spells? Because I would love to know how to do that spell.
Well, no. These are the things that are taught after years of training at the Cerberus Academy.
Is it so you can, like, change your looks?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's, like, easy disguise self spells, you know? Those are, like, easy.
Yeah?
But, like...
Then you know all about this sort of magic, then.
Oh. Oh. I guess I could just change my hair on a whim, huh? But that looked like you were really changing your hair. Were you really changing your hair?
Glamours.
Caleb, I want to learn about glamours.
That's why her tits look so amazing.
We are such assholes.
Yeah, Caleb's working real hard to keep a blush down through all of this.
Astrid leans forward and goes,
So, Bren, we miss you. We're glad to see that you're safe. And doing so well.
I have good friends. They're good people.
Are you trying to invite him back? Is that why we're here? Are you asking him back into the fold?
Oh, I'm not doing that, no.
Trent kind of leans forward in his seat and goes,
I more just wanted to express my pleasure with Bren's, Caleb's advancement as the prodigy I always knew he was. While some students take direct tutelage and study, some are unique in how they best develop through self-discovery. Others inspired through hardship. Historically, the most talented mages have indeed walked this path. For the greatest ambitions come from those who have endured the dark and crawled their way back.
So you're apologizing then?
No, it sounds like he's trying to take fucking credit.
Yeah, it didn't sound like an apology to me.
Of my handful of vigilant reaches, I've had a fondness for you three.
and he gestures towards the three students.
Erolf and Astrid are skilled in so much. Everything one could seemingly want in disciples and associates. But, and I mean this with all due respect to the both of them, their potential is limited. Unlike you, Bren. You have the eventual makings of an assembly member yourself. And don't think my eyes are the only ones upon you for this reason. Some out of curiosity, others a threat. Forgive me, Bren. I could see your gifts, and your faults and limitations. And to truly grow, you needed to be broken and left to build yourself. It took longer than we anticipated, but when you were ready, we turned on the light and showed you the door.
And he kind of takes something from the side of his setting, and it drifts over across the table in your direction and lands at the front of your plate. And you see a familiar symbol, that of the Archheart.
This is why I am not dead.
of course. If he wanted you dead, there would have been no escape. And I cannot tell you how proud of you I am. We are. And I know you hate me, Bren. Hate what I've put you through. And I accept those feelings. For it was a hard choice for me to make. What I did, though, I did out of love.
To what end? To use me?
No, to show you what you are capable of. It was your parents' wish. And I told them of the spark that I saw within you. They asked me to do whatever it took to help you realize it. For the glory of your family and for the Empire. I did just that, as much as it hurt to hurt you. It is the greater man who puts the needs of others over himself, Bren. And this nation needs you.
Insight check.
We need you.
Insight check.
I got inside check.
Lying.
I flicks to Astrid's.
Natural fucking 20.
Ooh.
I'll text you real fast.
I would like to insight check Astrid.
Go for it.
To see if she's going along with it. Well, not a natural 20, but 25.
25, okay. What's your total with the natural 20, Chester?
25.
Damn, just look at that, 2 25s.
Wow. Wow. We might actually learn something.
Okay, give me just a second.
Takes longer to text than it does.
This insight check brought to you by...
This text brought to you by Dwarven Forge, makers of the world's finest modular gaming terrain.
Oh, the curses of COVID distance. I missed the whispers. It was so much easier.
2020 is hard, man.
I know.
Yeah. It's
Goddamn.
really hard to stay quiet during
Also, Matt, it would be easier and faster if you just did it with Siri, with just like...
You're right. And I will tell this to you out loud because this is less tricksy. With a 25, you can. She's looking towards you with a feeling of internal conflict that you weren't expecting. You can see there is a softness and kind of a yearning, but her body language is leaning away from him.
From Trent?
From Trent. And you see a glimmer in there of the Astrid you once knew. Ever so faintly worried.
Worried?
About your response.
Is Aodwolf just chowing down on his steak?
I mean, no, he's
Out there in the
mid-chew.
world.
He's like,
Okay.
he's intently watching, and it's just like,
You will have to walk me through the logic of this long con. Because I do loathe you deeply.
Of course.
But you do nothing flagrantly. Everything is very careful.
Indeed.
So how would you hope to use me as a tool?
This isn't to use you as a tool, Ren.
And there isn't a word I could say that would find your ears with belief. Correct?
Say that one more time. Because of the social distance.
Yeah. There is no phrase or words I could say that you would find yourself able to believe.
It's hard to forget the past.
Then do not forget it. Use it. If I am to be the focus of your hatred, I accepted that long ago. But what you are now, what you've accomplished, those you've drawn around you, and where you go, that is because of what you've endured. Not because of a book you read in some hall with other sniveling rich children. You made yourself. Not myself. Not them. But it took that path of pain to accomplish what this is. And you're not the only one of us in the Assembly to have been through similar trauma and been defined by it.
I dead-eye stare Astrid while talking to Trent and say, and you think that my mother and father, our mothers and fathers and children, should serve as grist for the mill in this way?
Whatever it takes to keep the people of this empire safe. The wants of one do not outweigh the wants of the many. Right?
Ed Wolf leans forward and goes,
Our parents made a sacrifice, yes. Like any soldier does on the battlefield.
If we cannot protect our own, then all of it is a failure. Why did we get into this? Why did we serve with such vigor? If not to protect.
You see, when talent rises from nothing, then nothing truly is lost. You are far more than where you came from.
So you've sent me off like a wind-up clockwork toy to serve the Empire. All right. What if the thing to do now is to supplant you, to pull you up like a weed and do better? You comfortable with that idea?
Nothing would make me prouder.
Inside check.
I know. Yeah, he means it, doesn't he? Fuck,
for it.
I know he means it.
I'm not even asking.
Natural one.
Great.
Probably means it.
Got broccoli
He
right
means
here.
it.
At this point, Jester kind of dribbles down her chin a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This food looks really good. I really wish
He
Bo would
seems
take a
pretty
bite.
honest from what you can tell.
Bo! Yeah, eat something already.
I don't have a fucking appetite. He's disgusting.
Let's take it further. I look at Eadwulf and then at Astrid. When he is out of the picture, and you and I carry the torch forward, we will mangle more children to feed the fields of Wynandir.
Eadwulf kind of sits back, crosses his arms, looks to Astrid. Astrid looks to you and says,
Well, if you were to be the bannerman of this tower that we are charged to, then we do as you say. If you want to bring more into this fold, we will. If you want it to end, that's your command.
What about you, though?
What about me?
When we spoke last, I had the impression that you were being groomed for this seat.
She looks nervously over towards Trent. And Trent leans in a little bit.
My ambitions and the paths laid before me are not always congruent. Bren.
And she looks deadly serious towards you, with a look of stop. Trent kind of leans forward with this grin getting slowly more and more curled and confident.
Any man of my position assumes that everyone I keep close is just waiting for me to turn my back. Every person in power knows that feeling, lives by it. It's the rare one that gets to choose. I just hope you don't disappoint me, Bren.
That is a lot to absorb. It has been an interesting decade, to be sure. I often feel like a failure and a success within the same hour.
And you are learning.
I have dreamed of murdering you with my bare hands many nights. So I hope it's not just flowery language you're throwing around the dinner table, Master Ikathon. This place, this country could do better. It could do it with a little less blood. Everyone at this table knows that struggle is inherent to life. But this way is not the only way. And that was given to Astrid.
She looks at Trent.
Then, take care of yourself. All of you. For the struggle never stops. And because you don't want bloodshed doesn't mean every other person that wants what you have doesn't. History and mortal nature prove this time and time again. If you are not sometimes the first to cut, you are the first to receive the blade. I've spent my life bearing knives. Let's hope you live as long, Caleb Wittogast.
Take a bite of my steak. Is it poison?
It's very well prepared.
Chester.
Does not appear to be poison.
It might be the best steak I've ever had in my life. It's so fucking good. It's melting in my mouth. Yeah. Just eat as much as you can real fast
Before he kicks us
get
out.
kicked out. Yeah.
I feel like I have been domineering the conversation.
What? No.
No.
Not at all.
It's been
Highly
great.
entertaining.
Does anyone else have any questions about me being groomed as the Antichrist?
How many more beacons do you have?
Hell yeah.
There you go.
What do you mean? You've only seen the one? That is what we have.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
What?
Bringing you to a total of
40. That's 40.
well,
29 on my end.
30.
Really?
59.
Well, not combined.
Yeah, they stack. They stack.
That's how it works.
Yeah, you combine them now.
Stacked like a Big
How
Mac.
many there are, the addresses in which they're located.
His eyes dart to the left. It's due south.
Yeah.
Go.
Since you're both here,
It's right under the table.
Yes.
he's being completely honest.
He's always honest.
It's best liars are honest.
What's the most incredible thing you learned from studying them?
We don't know yet.
Yet?
Have you ever answered a question directly?
One question at a time.
I knew it. That's great.
It's like a party game, really.
We have learned some things, but there is still much more to glean. We have only just begun our research. So who's to say what the most important thing is? What I do know is there is much potential to help a lot of good people.
You mentioned being a Tomb Raider in Schadengrad. Is that a mission you've sent people on?
No, but it sounds like the sort of thing that Vess would definitely go for.
Interesting.
Her interests tend to lie in things in the realm of forgotten history.
Isn't that kind of like her title?
She's the Archmage of Antiquity.
Yeah. That's her thing, right? That's like what she's supposed to do.
Like in the...
Have you come across any interesting artifacts?
In my
that
life.
She's dug up here recently? Anything pre-calamity? Sound familiar? Anything related to the Eyes of Nine?
I have not, but if you've seen such a thing, please do tell me. Vess tends to be very secretive with her business.
Oh, this has nothing to do with her. This is kind of something we've all been like a side hobby, you know?
I do not believe I have. But
Have
I
a
am
side
curious.
hobby? You should have a side hobby.
Heard anything about this artifact or Eyes of Nine you speak of?
Yeah.
Trains are
Worth a shot. Origami's very, you could
I did that.
probably, it's the mental health aspect of just having something that's not intrinsically related to your work, you should get a hobby.
He has a hobby. He's a sculptor.
In a way.
The trees outside your windows. What is that supposed to be?
I just wanted to provide a gentle atmosphere. Do you not like it? I can change it for you.
I would love that.
Ooh. What did you prefer?
Coastal view.
Without him moving or even looking away, you watch as all the windows shift into a moonlit oceanside night. And you can see waves kind of just breaking against the sides of the ocean beaches.
Is it ocean on both sides, or is it ocean on one side?
It looks like it's ocean on one side, and then it curves around and you begin to see the coast on the other.
Cool.
Like you're right on a cliff.
That's neat.
Any other parlor tricks you would wish to ask of an archmage of the Cerberus Assembly?
No parlor tricks, but I had actually a question, if you don't mind, Caleb, about your past. Thank you so much for sending him to us in your weird psycho way. But we do appreciate making his acquaintance, however dark and creepy it was, the origins were. But you I think if my memory serves, he was sort of locked away for a while in a bad place. He would have stayed there forever, right? If someone hadn't freed him?
Most likely, yes.
Who freed him?
Well, who do you think freed him? And he gestures over toward the symbol on the table that was given to Caleb earlier.
What?
What he's saying is that he orchestrated it.
So he imprisoned you and he freed
He
you.
left me shut off, and then he turned the lights back on.
Wow.
That's weird.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Very generous.
Didn't need those 10 years. How is this going?
Adolf?
Yes.
So Adolf kind of like leans back, pulls back his sleeves, and you can see the clustered maze-like tattoos that are across his forearms. You can see similar scars as to the ones that Caleb had, with what looks to be raised areas of the skin where things are embedded beneath and have healed over. And he kind of goes,
It's coming quite handy, to be honest.
Does that hurt?
Only a little, the beginning. But it much more hurts the person on the other side.
and he kind of like tenses his arms, and as he does, you see energy kind of spark through and arc up the arm.
You're like a living magical weapon.
I like that title. Living magical weapon.
His forearms are still as amazing as they always were.
Yeah, they're more so. More so. He's a fit fucker.
Yeah.
He gives a little drink and nods to you.
Look over at Astrid. What about you?
They have come in handy a number of times, yes. What do I require to give a presentation as well? She pulls her sleeves back and shows the same tattoos.
You've talked about Caleb replacing you. Forgive me, I'm so forgetful. What's wrong with you? Where are you going?
Well, nowhere. He fails.
Nowhere. You don't feel ill?
I take it from the tone of your inquiry that you don't seem to understand the structure of the Cerberus Assembly.
I don't. Although I did look up to it when I was younger. I was very curious. I'm sad to report I haven't learned much since then.
Membership is only given when a member is stepped down, kicked out, or passes away.
And you plan to step down, get kicked out, or...
Hopefully not any. I like where I am. It has served me well for a very long time.
It's a very generous offer. I take it very seriously, truly. What if I decide to walk away? What if I want to be a sailor instead?
That is your choice.
Easy as that?
Of course. But you won't.
No. No, I won't be a sailor.
Well, shame. You'd make a fine sailor.
He really does not.
The world would lose one.
Terrible at sailing.
This has been very informative, illuminating. I don't wish to overstay our welcome. We do have business to attend to, any preparations to make.
Well, regardless, it has been a pleasure to get to see all of you. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for this quaint bit of conversation.
Thank you for the delicious steak. It was really one of the best I've ever had.
Well, I will let the staff know post haste. Thank you. I will take my leave.
Yeah, I say before you go, I think perhaps you were one of the most powerful mages that I've ever had the pleasure to be in the presence of. And for this, I would offer a gift, which I think it has been a long time since anyone has pointed out to you that you are a fool. Pain doesn't make people. It's love that makes people. The pain is inconsequential. It's love that saves them. And you would know that, but you have none around you. You said so yourself. You surround yourself with lies and deceptions, and I wish for you in the future to find someone who will mourn you when you are gone. Respectfully.
Good night. And he vanishes.
Good deuce.
That was so tasty.
Oh.
Astrid and Adewolf are just kind of like, yo.
You're
That was... Wow.
Adewolf takes his his napkin.
Do you guys want to hang out or something? You want to go grab a drink?
I was going to ask the same thing. Why
What are you
don't
up
we
to?
get out of here?
No, I have
Come
business
on.
to attend
come
to.
with us.
The invitation is always open.
And he begins to leave the chamber as stands up.
Wait,
What if you just walked us a block or two away from the tower?
Please.
It'll be fun.
Looks back at Astrid. We walk beyond the courtyard, yes.
Astrid.
Just to make sure you safely make it off the grounds.
And they escort you back to the central chamber. It recedes down to the base of the tower. You do not jump this time because that would hurt.
Yeah. I bend my knees, but I
Catch yourself, yeah. The doors open and lead you back into the courtyard, and you step out. You can hear the crickets in the nearby oak trees making their evening noise.
I want to thread my arm through Astrid as we're walking.
It tenses a bit. You hear the owl nearby going. You all continue to walk.
Reflex.
I'm going to whisper over to her as we're walking. I'm sorry if you thought I was giving you a hard time earlier. I thought maybe you were really mean like Trent, but now I'm feeling really guilty about it because I don't think you are. So I want to apologize if I came across as rude. I feel very bad about it.
She doesn't necessarily lean back, but then speaks quietly towards your direction. You don't know anything about me.
No.
You do not know what I've done.
Well, I know some of what you've done. And I know that Caleb cares deeply for you, so you can't be all bad.
No response. You watch as Ned Wolf kind of like, as he's walking along, kind of flicks his wrist, and you watch out of, he kind of almost pulls it out of the air. Looks like a bottle of some sort of a dark liquor, and he kind of uncorks it. Takes a swig.
It's a handy trick.
Oh, I've got plenty of them, don't worry.
I'd love to see more.
Would you?
Yeah.
Pass the bottle over to Astrid.
Okay. Hands it over to Adelwolf, takes it, corks it, and it vanishes.
You could come with us.
No, I
you
cannot.
could. You could.
No, I could not.
Well, maybe we both have some thinking to do.
Maybe.
Are you talking to Astrid or Eodwolf at this point?
Sure.
He's talking to Astrid.
Just making sure.
We'll be out of the city soon. Don't know when we'll be back.
Just be careful. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. Her eyes kind of dart up towards the trees above. You hear again the...
Oh, he's an owl now. I get it.
We can kidnap you, make it look like a real struggle.
She actually smiles at that. Goes, I appreciate the candor. As you guys reach the gates that lead off of the estate itself, Adelwolf kind of pushes it open.
It is certainly one of the more interesting dinners I've been to.
I like you. Thank you. I like you too. Don't let that stuff get to your head. That guy's a little oof.
Yeah. I would be careful not to say things to people
no, I
like
wouldn't
him.
if I had to live here. No. So. Oof.
I had to live here.
Anyway. He's about to say something to Caduceus. Anyway.
Astrid.
good spending time.
I'm sure we'll cross paths again. And kind of puts his hand on your shoulder. She keeps bringing us together. And he walks on.
Does he have any marks of the matron on him anywhere?
Passive perception on Caleb. No marks on him, but you do catch, as he's leaning forward, touching your shoulder, there is a flash of what looks to be a small kind of silver pendant of what looks to be a raven feather.
There's your multi-class.
Astrid kind of lingers for a moment.
Oh! I'm going to use disguise self, and I'm going to make my hair very long, about down to here.
See, you can do it. There's no worries to have.
It's pretty great, yeah. But I want to be able to do, like, you know, and actually make it move.
Well, give it time.
Sure you don't want to come get a drink with us? Now that the walking road pylon is left?
I appreciate the offer. But I should not.
Funny that he let
Why should
Caleb
it be like
go
that?
and not you. Strange, don't you think? Is it funny that he let Caleb go and not you? Seems odd.
Caleb was always his favorite. Bryn.
Well, you were always mine.
You mean what you said in there, right? To stop him.
I cannot hear.
Sorry.
So I'm sorry.
You mean what you said in there, to stop him?
Yeah. Nothing is set in stone. Not for you or anyone.
Race you to the top. And she turns and heads back into the courtyard.
Sure.
Dusk. Hi. Caleb wants to talk to you. It's important. Important. Meet us at the dance hall at dusk. Tell nobody. Keep it secret from you know who.
Well done.
A brief moment before you get a response. Donka, I'll be there. Please, tell Caleb. Thank you. That's all.
You watch as she comes and joins across your sitting arrangement, pulls the hood back over her shoulders, smiles a bit before leaning forward.
It is good to see you, Brian.
It's good to see you. Have a seat. Thank you for meeting me on such short notice. I don't know. I'm very nervous here. More than I have been on our past meetings. I've sort of been trying to rehearse all day what I would talk to you about here. And none of it seems appropriate. Things okay here after dinner?
She kind of glances about the room,
They've been interesting. You and your friends traveled to Isocross at the behest of Ves Drogna.
We did. Come on, let's dance. And take her by the hand and lead her out into the middle of the floor.
She goes along with it. And as you both begin to dance, and the tune here is a little more of a rhythmic sway, so it's easy enough to engage, but interesting. It's been a while since you've been in a position to try and lead, but your partner is also often switching and taking the lead. There's almost a duel within the duet of a dance. As she kind of comes by and brushes past your ear and whispers, keeping it covert while looking over your shoulder. Ludinus has been keeping an eye. Never one to trust Bess. So he requested you be tracked by Volstrucker. So we followed you.
How far did you get?
Well, quite a bit until you came to a base of a mountain range and turned into birds. It's hard for us to follow those who are polymorph. But you need to be careful. Ludinus is very well aware of what has become of us. Knows of your proximity. Just be careful.
What does Ludinus know of her condition?
I do not know. I just know that no one has heard from her in the assembly for weeks. And you are the last to leave with them.
I struggle with trust. And I want very much to trust you. I think we both know that's not entirely possible.
Not if we're both to stay alive.
What I wanted for the Empire as a child is different than what I want for the Empire today. And I would hazard a guess that what you and I want for the Empire is similar in some ways, but different in many others. I turn her around and scan the room.
Scan
where everyone is.
You can make out everybody except for... Oh, you can make a perception check.
18.
18. You see Yasha in the corner. You see dancing not far from you, Jester in her illusory form. You see Caduceus having a seat and sipping from a drink. And that's all you can see within the chamber. But all eyes are in your direction, and they're keeping a close watch.
I care very much for the friendship that we once had. But I don't trust you entirely, and I'm sure you do not trust me. And yet, I have come here today to ask you a favor. A few weeks ago, the number one thing on my mind was trying to sort out the pieces after that peace treaty and how to improve things here at home. And all that is gone. My friends and I, we are getting wrapped up in something. A danger. A very real danger that includes the survival of the Empire, the Kryn,
all of us. There is something terrible coming out of the north. Something that has no preference for nation. And this is going to be so hard to swallow and overlook, but I need your help. We are in a race with a ticking clock to stop a very real threat from being unleashed. And we're being tracked. In fact, I may be watched at this very moment, which means you may be. Do you still wear one of these?
Her eyes kind of still pass by yours, and she grabs your hand and begins leading you, and the dynamic of the dance has shifted. And as she brings your hand up across the shoulder, you see it brush past a cord on her neck where a similar medallion briefly drifts out before it slides back beneath the shawl. She spins you around and pulls you in, and switching into Zemnian, just says, "These are odd times indeed. But this confusion is advantageous.
If there is any love left between us, I need more of these." And I just lay my head against her head and dance for a moment. Not forever. Not for anything against the Empire or you. My differences with you, we'll save them for a later day. But I need enough of these for my friends. For a few weeks, maybe. So that we can go unnoticed. And I promise you, as the boy that I once was, and the love that the three of us shared, I mean no harm against the Empire, or you, now, and I will bring them back. I'm begging, Astrid.
As you kind of leaned into her, there's a brief moment where, even though you're still dancing, her body kind of seizes briefly, that kind of limber sway to the beat, clams up ever so slightly. You feel her hand kind of touch your back and shoulder, and she falls back into lockstep with you and listens. There's that pause. And she just leans into your ear. You're just kind of cheek to cheek, not even looking at each other. I'll see what I can do. Just know there are eyes on you. Which means either we're walking into their trap, or you beat them at their own game.
As she says those things, and we are dancing around the room, I spot Jester and watch, tracking her insane dance moves until we spin away. And then I pull back a bit.
As you pull back, she pulls back a bit too. You can see her kind of like right herself and smile, putting on that formal mask, that veneer that you've seen before. It drops again briefly. She looks at you once more in Zemnian and says, I know you're here. It could be an opportunity. If you strike first.
Well, it was good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And, well, maybe we'll catch up some other time.
Fräulein.
Cheers, Brian. She puts her hood up and goes to exit the location. You watch her exit and head out.
I follow.
Ooh. Okay.
I across the beams, slink down one of the walls, trailer out the front entrance a little bit.
Okay.
As I see Bo leave, I'm like,
No, she's invisible.
oh, no, it's
I will kind of
JK.
You just swallow, you accidentally inhale some of that spit, and you're like,
I'll give Ford like a little like pop on the shoulder though. That he would recognize. That'd be cool. Jeez.
Ghosts. Sneaking up on a camera.
Right in the tit.
I track just for a little bit.
Okay. Make a stealth check with advantage.
Putting a cucumber behind me.
Don't fuck me, Gil. Natural 20 Gil. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And 30 total.
Been a while.
Alrighty. You follow her for about 7 or 8 minutes before you see her kind of veer off the road a bit and head into just a small, not even an alley, but a little pocket between two buildings.
Alley, pocket. Okay, got it.
Heading down alley.
Dude, I might need to find this again.
Side reads
Go,
maximum.
go.
Okay. As you kind of catch around the side, about 3-4 feet.
3 or 4 feet.
Within this side pocket, you see her now kind of back against the wall, sitting on the ground, knees close to the chest, and she's just kind of curled up in a ball.
How long does she sit there?
About 5 or 6 minutes or so.
Does she seem deeply conflicted, clearly? Or like, what is her...
Good.
Good
job.
Deeply conflicted? I don't know.
Not to be projecting on her or anything. Yeah.
Make an insight check.
She seems like she has a big day tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you touch somebody and they're on an illusionary spell, you can tell that that's not them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. 15? 16?
Pretty good.
You see,
it's okay.
In the low light, at this point in the day, it's a little challenging to pick up most of the details of her expressions, the physicality. It's hard to tell, but she spends a good 5-6 minutes or so sitting there,
Is she
just
crying?
kind of.
She's crying, isn't she? She's crying, you guys. Okay.
It's hard to tell, but you're caught off guard as she abruptly sits up, stands, kind of brushes herself off.
Alley poop.
And then beelines kind of in your direction.
I hug the wall.
She continues by, and
Peek around the corner. She heading for the towers?
she's heading towards the deeper exterior of where the candles are, yeah.
Well, let's stop beating around the bush. Could you reach out?
Sure. I'll send a message to Astrid. Hello.
Solid.
Have you procured the items? If so, meet us. Hold on!
By the school.
By the school. That's not specific.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, don't fuck us over.
Love it. Astrid responds. I will meet you there. A conversation is definitely required. That's it.
Wizard. Cool.
All right. The cloud cover is a little broken this morning. Little bits of blue peek through. A welcome warmth to the Rexentrum atmosphere as you approach the academy grounds and follow Caleb over to the bench that he specified. This early in the morning, not too bustling. It looks like everyone who's here is either currently in study or elsewhere. But you wait for about 30, 40 minutes or so before you can see Astrid begin to approach. Similar overcoat and hood, but outfit beneath is a little different. New day.
Alone?
Alone. Approaches and sits on the bench next to you.
Good morning.
Morning. So I've done my research for the night, and I have uncovered where the bulk of the Volstrucker collection of unused veilers are. They are, however, currently kept in a small vault under the northwest tower on the grounds of the Vergessen Sanatorium.
Sorry, Astrid, what was the name of that place?
The Vergessen.
It's where he was kept.
Yeah.
I know that.
You've been there once. You guys went there once.
Sam could hear there
as
Yeah.
Did you say it was the what corner?
It was
Northwest?
within a small vault under the northwest tower on the grounds.
Northwest tower.
Okay. I like how we all write it down, but yeah.
I'm
to
not.
make sure.
I'm drawing.
As she says this, you see she leaves a casually leaves on the bench next to her this small wooden case. Just kind of puts her arm over it for the time being. I unfortunately lack the knowledge of the teleportation rune that is anchored there. Master Ikathon tends to keep that under his control. I also lack the means of breaking into the vault. My presence there, unattended by Trent, would probably raise suspicion. Otherwise, I would go myself.
Do you have any idea where the old man is today?
Today, I saw him this morning, but who knows how long he is to remain. I do not keep his day-to-day.
Do I believe her?
Make an insight check.
15.
15. She seems on the level, much as you can tell. You know, she's not talking directly to you. She's still kind of facing away and occasionally making eye contact, but keeping it like a casual side conversation out of the sight of anyone who might be peering unexpectedly.
What about Wolf? Is he in town?
He is currently out on a mission, but I believe he's expected to return in the next couple of days.
Okay. That is much appreciated.
Can I just do a scan of the courtyard, see if anyone's watching us?
Yeah, make a perception check.
I'm really good at these. Yeah. 13.
13. Looks fairly solid. Couple of ne'er-do-wells in brown robes, but you recognize them.
Is there any cost for this information?
No cost. Consider it a meager start to an apology.
Well, as I said, this is appreciated, and if we can pull it out of the fire, it will stand to be of good use for all of this.
I would recommend while the sun is out. At night, more often than not, is when he's to attend the sanatorium. That would be when.
I watch a couple of teenagers strolling by the school grounds and watch them and say, what will you be occupying yourself with for the coming week or so?
Well, when Wolf returns,
We have to check in and see what the next necessary thing is for us to do. And if there is none, then whatever I wish to use to entertain myself.
Well, I hope to report back to you at the end of the day with some good news.
I hope so too. These are not easy to procure. And for the number that you need, this is your best bet of what I could find. Just be careful. Do not raise a fuss. Best in and out quickly. And she taps the little box and says, I think the rest will be self-explanatory. And she sits up and begins to make her way, taking a few steps before stopping, kind of looking over her shoulder and just continues walking. To walk with you.
Can I get you a drink? Do you need a refill?
No drink. The other one looks to the other figure. You see that they have kind of different heights, and the smaller one just kind of leans forward and goes, look, there is no conflict to be had here. We are just trying to convey a message to Bren.
To Bren?
And at this point you recognize the voice, speaking in a Dwendalian Zemnian accent. A female voice. Something you've heard before at a dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
We have been dispatched to cut you all off. We are here to let you know in the short time we have that you need to go.
Where?
Anywhere. But here. If there's anyone important to you, leave with them. They both kind of look a little nervous, and the other one, the bigger one's kind of looking a little impatient. And the smaller one goes, Trent is, frustrated. And beyond this brief little straying, it's the most we can help you with without putting ourselves in too much danger. We were never here, and I hope we don't meet again.
You weren't sent by Trent?
We were. But we haven't arrived yet.
Understood. Just Nicodranus? Or is he coming here?
Oh, he has a conversation to deal with the break-in at the sanatorium, to explain away what was done without drawing too much suspicion.
You know, it was odd. It was on your advice that we made the attempt that we did, at the time that we did, and yet there he was.
I don't know what went wrong. I didn't set you up if that's what you're insinuating.
Do I believe her?
Make an insight check.
I'll take that as well, since I'm sitting there.
It's a 16.
16?
20.
20. I mean, through the illusion, which is its own unique layer of adjusting to the circumstance, it's a little hard to tell, but it sounds like there is a ring of truth to what she's saying.
You came here.
You were
this
told.
Place.
One of the surviving guards had said there was a connection with those that broke in, and so it was assumed this would be a likely place of arrival.
We do appreciate the warning. Would you be willing to let us, I don't know if we can even do this right now, but if we can wipe ourselves from your mind, would you be willing to let us do that?
At this point, you see the other one kind of steps back and goes, I apologize, no.
just a precaution for you, to be honest.
There's nothing you could wipe from our minds that would absolve us of really of anything.
We never saw them come in.
I understand your apprehension. Your motivation, the one that sounds like Astrid, I understand. You, however, why are you helping us?
I'm not helping you. I'm helping him. And she kind of just gestures up towards the rest of the building.
For what it's worth, his intentions are good, and if things were different, we would be asking for your help, but...
But they aren't different, and our intentions are not good. So you have to go.
Thank you.
And they both kind of begin to muscle their way past you, Bo, to try and open the door.
I just shoulder check him a little bit as I step aside.
I'm going to head upstairs.
Okay. They exit out the front.
I'll trail them in my invisible form just
Yes.
to see which way they go.
Yes.
Okay.
Get it.
Keeping distance.
Fair enough.
Gather everyone, we have to leave right now. We go right now.
Yes, okay.
I look at...
I go and collect Beth's family.
I finish telling Carlos some bullshit about the bathroom decor that I'm wanting, and I make my exit as well.
Well, we will do our best to make these arrangements for you. I mean, we just had it redone. We'll take care of it.
Carlos.
Don't worry.
Maybe we should close up tonight. I'm feeling tired. I don't want to entertain.
As you wish. He seems a bit kind of like confused by a lot of what's happened here. And just kind of... He seems unsettled, but begins to go through the motions of like cleaning off spaces and talking to some of the patrons at the tables, letting them know that they'll be shuttering up. You guys are gathering your things. Your mother is still packing in the room. Your family they have whatever's on them and they had at the market. All the rest of their main things are still at your house, including the money.
Mm-hmm.
But you are currently following the two of them. As they exit, they make their way through the opal archways. You can see heading kind of in a northwestern direction to a familiar district. Actually, I don't know if you were present for the event, the party that took place.
The party?
Yeah, were you?
Yeah, I was there.
You were there.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember which part members of the group were.
I locked somebody on a balcony.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
not that,
saw
not
it
that.
in the fish.
Yes,
That's right.
Not that house, but that same region. There is one building that looks somewhat officious, but also quite elegant. And they both head to that area, and as they step through an alley, you watch as the illusions fade, and it's back to Astrid and Eadwulf. Though their attire is still kind of a similar presentation as to what you saw in the Lava Chateau. As they begin to approach the exterior of this, you see the door open, and it looks like another individual, though wearing a similar attire, but having the same Volstrucker tattoos across their arms. It looks to be an older woman. Looks to be half-elf, possibly in her late 40s or so. And to the right of her, a familiar red-robed Trent Ickathon.
Oh, shit.
All of our suspicious, neurotic beliefs were real.
And we're like 3 blocks away?
3 blocks away.
Oh.
Or, yeah, about a...
Paranoid if they're really looking for you.
We're not paranoid.
What was it?
Trent is
Trent
3 blocks away.
Trent is here.
House or something 3 blocks from the chateau.
So wait, who's the other woman? Also older member?
You've never seen this woman.
Never seen this woman.
Another Volstrucker, female elf.
And you see as they come bolting out of the structure, you can see some other members of Concordian Guard kind of following behind, hurriedly looking confused. As he kind of just rushes by and heads towards the edge of the gate, raises his hand, the gate's open, and you see the two of them approach and kind of give a bow, and they begin having a conversation rather rapidly.
Okay.
Proximity of Ford, who had chosen to go into the sphere, are gone, and the ball just kind of ting, 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 ting,
I run
onto
over
the
and
ground.
grab the ball. I'm holding onto the ball.
All right. And you are currently going through the scroll?
Yes.
Reading it. As you're reading it, the fork is heating up and heating up and heating up. And it almost begins to burn your hand as you're kind of like pulling it down. But it's a pain you're familiar with. And as you go to complete the spell, the door entryway kind of opens up, and you see they're kind of darting in. You see Astrid, who looks over and kind of hand out. You know the presence here. This is the at the ready for a counterspell. You finish reading. The rod begins to glow brightly, and all of you feel yourselves being pulled from this reality as her hand goes limp.
She let us go.
Again.
I need to know if you're following us. If you know where we are. What's the plan with you guys? Hope you're alone. If you're not.
Oh, man.
The spell ingester is my favorite, like, Pandora's box combination this entire campaign. Oh,
this is amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Astrid responds.
A Volstrucker has never disentangled from Trent before. No one who knows what he does, how he breaks us, has shared their trauma with the world. That's the end of her response, and then she follows up with her own.
Ooh, she's got her own.
With the king. Imagine the threat you are to him, now that you carry respect of both crown and queen. So, yes, he's invested.
Okay, finishing your row, Caleb, you're up.
Okay, so I'm just out the side of my mouth to Erdwolf. I'm gonna quickly say, there is more than one way for this to end. Change the narrative, and I move over closer to Essek and slam Alora's staff down on the ground and cast Globe of Invulnerability so that it encompasses myself and Essek. It's a 10-foot radius, so
yes,
you should.
Indeed. Got it.
But that's it. That's the turn.
Sorry. You don't get
Is she within? If she's within 10 feet, she is.
She don't get no globe.
No.
Are you flying?
Yeah,
Fine.
I got a glow already.
There you go. Vulnerability over the both of you.
Cool. By the way, what'd I do?
You do great.
Okay.
All right.
You fucked up.
Actually, what level spell is the Globe of Invulnerability?
Well, I was gonna ask. It's 6 charges, but I don't know if the staff allows you to use more charges to cast higher.
I don't think it would, no.
Okay, so
6th level.
Yeah.
It does not work.
What does not work?
The globe.
As you go to cast the globe, the spell seems to begin to form and then is raked from the air.
Do I have any sense why?
Oh boy.
Astrid around this corner.
Oh my gosh.
Has her hand out after dispelling it.
Wow.
And she's just looking at you intently as you glance over into her gaze, and she's just.
I turned a bow.
It's a meat cute. They're falling him down.
To finish your turn? Okay.
Oh, man.
It is now Astrid's turn. Astrid, at this point, is going to go ahead and use a bonus action to activate her glyph chant. Jesus. Now, you've heard of this, but you've not quite seen it in action, since this was advanced beyond the time that you were being tutored. But you is looking at Astrid, she puts her hand down.
Stay in school, man.
And then her arms flex outward, and the maze-like tattoos on her hand begin to glow with blue energy, and you watch as her movement begins to move quicker. She seems to be enhanced by some sort of arcane element, and there's this strange, like, almost a rhythmic-like pulse to the tattoos on her arm and the glowing of energy. So that's her bonus action.
Damn it, that's cool.
She's juicing.
She's, yeah.
She, from where she's standing, is going to go ahead and move 50 feet.
50 feet!
What's she doing? What's she doing?
Could have
back there
that expeditious retreat on her.
And then she is going to cast Disintegrate on Yasha.
So reaction, action.
Hello.
Shit's getting personal.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Yasha.
Oh no.
You got some.
Well, you don't have bless. Shit. But you're gonna roll a natural 20.
I have a. Whew, I have advantage. That was
You
a
do,
1.
because you do see it.
Come on, you fuck. Yes. 22.
Hey. Jesus.
Thank fuck.
Oh,
wasted.
That's success. That's a success.
That's
As she puts her hand out, and there's this weird gathering of motes of dull greenish energy gathering, and then a singular beam shoots out, and right as you're going towards Trent and getting up in the air, you see the beam out of the corner of your eye. Turn and just flap your wings out of the way, and it just barely misses you by inches. A feather that's cast off your wing gets hit and is turned to immediate dust and is no longer visible as it just streaks off into the sky, harming nothing.
Those are reactions from them on these counter spells, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Astrid's after Caleb?
Astrid is.
Okay.
We haven't seen Wolf take
That's going to finish Astrid's go. Jester, you're up.
When did Trent go? He went after...
Um,
And Ford, you're at the bottom of the initiative right now.
I think so.
Can I get over to the well right there?
It's about, from where you are, about 50 feet, so you can get closer to it.
Okay, I'm gonna just go behind the tree that Bo was hiding behind.
Okay, over here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast, well, I'm definitely not within 60 feet of Astrid and Eadwolf, huh?
No.
Then I'm gonna cast, I'm gonna invoke duplicity.
You might be, Astrid might be within 60 feet, but not able.
I can't know for sure. Astrid is, where? Right?
This is 60 feet.
Far off on the left there.
Yeah. Eadwolf would not be in the range, and Astrid would just barely be within 60 feet. Your call.
Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Dominate Person on Astrid.
On Astrid. Okay. No effect, as Trent uses his reaction to counterspell.
I'll counterspell if I see him.
You can see him, yeah?
Yeah, I'll counterspell it.
What level?
I'll do it at... what do I have? I'll do it at... 4th level.
4th level? Go ahead and roll a d20. He cast it at 5th.
There, and it's... what kind of save is this again? It's been a while.
Just roll a d20 and add your spell modifier, so plus 5.
Modifier. 19.
19 succeeds. It goes through.
Okay.
So you counter Trent's counterspell.
Okay.
Counterspell, counterspell. Wizard counterspell.
Counters Caleb's counterspell.
Astrid fails her save.
That's a beautiful thing.
Is dominated
Yes, queen.
by Jester.
Yes.
And I'm gonna just say, in my mind, you wanna fight on our side. You wanna defend us. Take them out.
Her eyes look over towards you. There's no change in her demeanor. A second set of hands comes and pushes yours aside as Astrid begins to bend down. Natural 16 plus 8.
Ooh.
The side that you're holding, she glances over and finds one trigger that had come loose. She presses it back into place, squeezes your hand at once. You hit both sides. The red gem that you had embedded as the power source flickers on with a buzz.
Watch your fingers.
And Trent suddenly goes like,
You were always better at solving problems than I was.
and we're gonna take a break.
Narrative.
Astrid has been spinning the blade in her hand and walks up, or actually now still been standing aside the two of you, and just goes, "Can I kill him? Can I? Please."
This is just the beginning of this very hard road. Hold that thought. Could somebody get Eadwulf?
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, I'll go over to Eadwulf, and I will cast. Yep, Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Okay.
Did you see? How much?
Yeah.
This is happening?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, never mind. I don't have any 3rd levels left. I'm gonna cast it at 4th.
Alrighty.
Neither of us are going to kill him. He wants us to eat each other like animals.
Go.
Astrid, we are going to dismantle it all. I look at Bo.
If you kill him, you only make him a martyr.
You don't know what he's put us through.
You're right. I don't. But I want to.
Then I'll tell you in time.
Let me write down your story. I can help you.
Wolf.
He's got 20 hit points back.
Okay, gotcha.
We can finally do what we thought we were doing in the first place.
He kind of gets up.
We can make this empire the place we believed it to be. I turn to Ford. Don't let her kill him. And I start using Control Flame to put out swatches of fire on the home.
I'll stay behind with Ford and watch
Cantrip.
Watch Astrid as well.
Her blade's still in her hand, and she's just looking down at him. Her jaw is clenching. She spins the blade in her palm, looks at Ford.
Astrid. These institutions of power that go without being checked, that reside in secrecy, they are breeding grounds for corruption. If you kill him, it would just look like another senseless act of violence without any recourse. If we expose him, he is raked across the coals of the court of the public. The only way to keep from these cycles of abuse from continuing to happen is to tell the story.
Just so you know, I think you should kill him. But I don't think you care what I think. I think you care what he thinks.
Plus, I'm at a distance readying polymorph just in case she tries anything.
I'd like you both to make persuasion checks.
Me and Ford?
Yeah.
All right.
as she grips the blade tight in her hand.
Double swing.
Dirty 20.
Dirty.
Dirty 18.
Whoa.
Do not make him the hero of your story.
She lifts the blade and throws it to the ground with all of her strength and just screams and storms off and falls to her knees and just crumbles.
I was real close to making her a turtle just then. That was...
So? Still can.
Why a turtle? Why a turtle?
I just go instead and I'll kneel down in front of her. And I won't say anything, but I'm just going to put my hand on her shoulder and be there with her in silence.
She's shaking. Her teeth are gritted. You can see the tears in the mucus and the spit all just mixing, and she is just punching her fists into the ground, one after the other. Her eyes wide and tense with fury, and you can just see the seething years of pain and anger all coming to a head at once.
I come out of the building once it's extinguished with Aedwulf by the hand and pull him down and kneel in front of her as well, holding his hand and tapping my forehead to hers. I am so sorry for what you both went through. I loved you both so much. But what we believed in was a lie. And it still is. And now we must be strong. Now.
She pulls back, wipes her face off. Grabs Aedwulf's arm and pulls him away from you. And they just start walking away.
Find me when you need to.
You see Aedwulf kind of look over her shoulder a bit, like... And the two of them just disappear into the opposite side of the grove. The door opens, and from the still relatively well moonlit night, you can see the shape of two figures standing in the door.
Oh, are they back?
A larger male figure and a comparably smaller female figure. They're both imposing in their own right. And it takes you only about a minute to recognize them to likely be Astrid and Aedwulf.
Wow.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
May we come in?
Are you going to attack us?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, come on in. You missed all the hard work anyway. I'll put on a kettle.
They step in, and Aedwulf just kind of stays by the door, still kind of holding an awkward energy. Like a weird, like, hey, what's up? But, like, just keeping his distance. Astrid comes in, pulls her hood back a bit. It was raining a little earlier, and their outfits are still a little slick. And she just looks over towards you, Beauregard. And Caleb goes, I'll help. I'll tell my story too.
Well, it's just got a little bit easier, Beauregard.
And so with that, you've acquired the assistance of two Volstrucker directly under Trent Igathon.
I just at the ready. Pull out my notebook.
Okay. So in the days finishing this, you can begin to put together your report. You can begin to take note, or multiple notes, if you will, of the accounts of those closest to Trent Ickathon.
But organize it. It's like a court dissertation. It's
Yeah.
like a full
To what
timeline.
extent are you writing information?
I am writing down everything they say in top to bottom if it fills a notebook over a period of days. And I interview them, and we take breaks, and then I interview them again. I get it all down.
Okay.
From the beginning.
Certainly the element of us being asked to murder innocent citizens of the Empire.
It's all important.
You do note that both Astrid and Aedwulf make no mention in their, I don't know what you would call it, deposition?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Account?
Their account of any other members of the Cerberus Assembly. It is relegated directly to Trent, and only Trent.
So they have no information or no knowledge.
Or at least, or if they do, they're not.
Or
They're not saying.
Sharing
They're not willing to go that far. Exactly.
I come in from outside. Exterior is clear. Just to let you know, everything's on the up and up. As you were.
Patrol, good? Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking Camp David in this bitch.
Aedwulf goes, hey. You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you. As you were.
Caleb notes in that moment, despite Ford being green, how similar they are. In some ways. With our talking with them for the past few days, have we been able to... Is it obvious that they're obfuscating or dancing around?
Make an insight check.
Can I assist him?
Sure. You have to roll it yourself, or he rolls twice.
Assist.
It's pretty good. It is a 26.
26 is very good. You can ascertain, and with your experience in some aspects of that political space, they are carefully pruning to exclude the names of other in-power members of the Assembly.
Mm-hmm.
And you gather that taking down Trent seems viable because Trent is subdued and at your mercy.
Right.
Why should they draw the ire of those who are nothing but a threat, should they call the eye upon them?
So we're going to have to push for that on our own.
Yeah, and aside from talking to Caleb, it doesn't matter. They don't have to tell us
What we already know.
what we already know.
The Martinet intimated quite a bit.
100%. This will save lives. I hope you know that. It's hard to calculate how far this action could ripple into the future. But if we learned anything from the Sum Novum, if these people in power aren't kept in check, they're hidden behind veils, it will happen again and again.
You know, all my mother and father wanted me to do when I was a child was serve the Empire.
I think they'd be really proud of you.
We will serve the Empire. Maybe that's enough for today.
Yeah. We'll take a break.
And if you're on break, we have some tools back here, and you can go out and help with the garden.
They both look at each other. Of course, yes.
You burned a temple.
Yes, yes.
You're going to have to start learning how to pay for the things you've done. No magic. Get the tools. Start working.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, get out there, beefcake.
Gardening intimidation.
Yeah.
Intimidation in spades.
I'll come up.
Is it?
9.
9.
I'll come up behind Caduceus.
They listen, but they don't look shaken.
I'm not looking for shaken. I'm looking for
As they head out the door, I'm going to hand them both giant sun hats. Protect your skin. It's sunny.
She's right. You really have to. It can get real bright.
Annie and sun hat. Love it.
I also have.
It's great too because it's nighttime.
I have these human skin-colored glove things that I have made long ago. So here, take those to protect your hand.
They have like black leather gloves. Like we're fine.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Astrid and Aelwulf just say, are we to meet you in Zidash, or are we to meet you in Rexentrum?
Come. Come.
No.
Rexentrum then. 24 hours.
Very well. Thank you.
Of course.
And Kingsley coming?
Oh, I'm coming.
Okay, okay.
You got to see the ocean.
I've got to see a lot of things. I need a haircut.
All right, hold hands, everyone. Here we go.
Do we want to throw some shit over Trent first?
Yeah, yeah.
Where are we teleporting?
In Nicodranus, how about the beach?
Or we could go straight to
Lavish, or I mean...
Beth's home. It's indoors.
Yeah.
It's true.
Safer, probably.
I mean, the beach is probably pretty safe as well, but...
But we'll be carting around a basket of Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Astrid goes into the side pack.
That's true. He can walk.
He can walk. Kick him in the butt.
Astrid goes into the side pouch of Trent Agathon and pulls out a small fist-sized orb that has like a swirling silver mist on the inside and just takes it.
What is that?
This is how we're getting home.
Oh. Ooh.
Shortly thereafter.
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Take that.
Shortly thereafter, you are met by the Martinet, Ludinus Deleth, who approaches you specifically, Caleb. Caleb Udogast. It has been spoken of in Imperial circles that you were largely responsible for uprooting and deposing Master Trent Inkathon. Is this true?
I cannot claim the credit on my own.
You were once a protege of his, and was to be trained as a Volstrucker, then of your own accord, after a brief stay in sanitarium.
Brief.
Managed to get involved in quite a few things, and, to be quite frank, proved to be a sufficient, if not exceptional, crafter of the arcane arts. Is this true?
To a degree.
Are you not partially responsible for the current peace we now see between the Empire and the Kreen dynasty?
That is true. Myself and the Mighty Nine, the other 8, and I. Yes.
There is a vacancy now within the Assembly. We have need of a proven, capable wizard to take up the Master's mantle. Join our ranks. Individual of prominence, who's making a name of themselves, who has proven to be useful to the Empire and loyal to the ideals of the crown. I'm extending to you the opportunity to become one of us.
Oh my. What a flattering proposition. I do, unfortunately, have several other things on my plate, and must regretfully pass on your offer. Good luck filling the vacancy, Martinet.
A shame. And he leaves.
See you soon.
He stops. Continues walking. Stop at a few weeks before you hear word of the newly inducted member of the Cerberus Assembly. A familiar name. Master Astrid Beck.
Yep.
Following in the footsteps of her previous mentor. The first Volstrucker to rise above her ranks and bring a different kind of capability to the 8th.